Okay, we thank you so much for watching us, and we are now on the discussion segment of the program this morning. We're going to move from Abeokuta studio here to, I think it's Ibadan or Lagos. We have a guest who is going to join us via Zoom. He's in transit anyway, but we'll find a way of getting him to talk to us. Ademola Adeusi is a border and boundaries expert. He's joining us to look at this topic. Well, we have a guest in the studio who is equally competent to discuss the topic, Barrister Kehinde Bamiwola. This morning, we are looking at federal government's car gift to Niger Republic. This is one issue that has generated a lot of talks in the media, and even in beer parlors. You know, people have been talking about it. And so we have brought it here this morning to look at, and that's why we have in the studio once more Barrister Kehinde Bamiwola. Barrister, good morning.
Good morning, and good morning, viewers.
Good to see you again. I don't know when I'm going to get a car gift from you. But the federal government has, I mean, what do you make of this issue? It's been trending in the past few days. Nigeria giving car gift worth 1.4 billion naira to the Niger Republic. Federal government has come out to defend it. The Minister of Finance has said that it's financial support to Niger Republic to support, you know, their security architecture because they are neighbors, and they've also said that this is not strange. That over the years, Nigeria has always been big brother to countries like Niger Republic, Chad, Cameroon, and the rest of them. So why the noise about 1.4 billion naira worth of vehicles to Niger Republic at this point in time?
Well, I must start on this note. The scripture says, out of abundance of heart the mouth speaketh. What has happened has shown a lot of lapses, a lot of problems that we have in this country. The first one is lack of priority development, because there is no way in which one can justify the gift in any way. You have your internal problems. ASU and the students have been at home since February. That's about 6 months ago. We have other economic pressures, other economic hardships. Bread, now the one they used to call long, is between 1,000 naira to 1,200.
Do we still have long bread? We used to have long bread in those days. I just brought it to me, long bread.
So long bread, I remember. So between 1,000 and 1,200. Gas, natural cooking gas or liquefied natural gas, between 800, 850. I think maybe last week I was told that it's now 750 or thereabout. People in the villages using kerosene, around 700 naira. Let's come to security itself. The police, they are complaining that they do not have enough vehicles. Make a call to police for emergency, they will tell you no fuel in their vehicles. And now talk about other things. The military, people are saying they've been underfunded. Then the country will now give another country a separate and distinct sovereignty. That they have their own budget, they have their own economic planning. You now want to do big brother, well, let me not use the big brother Africa, but big brother in Africa.
Yeah.
To Niger Republic for 1,145 million naira worth vehicles to that country. When your people are in poverty, not just poverty, abject poverty, not just abject poverty, paupery. Many people are paupers. Bad roads, and is sheer madness. I don't know, I'm sorry I have to sound this way.
Yeah, please, I don't want you to sound this way.
I can't, because there is no justification.
Okay.
How much
Let's talk about the justification the federal government, put out for the public. They talked about the synergy that needs to take place for insecurity to be out of Nigeria as well. That Niger is one country that they collaborate with. They collaborate with Cameroon, the joint security operations that they set out when the Boko Haram started. And of course, the president has alluded to the reality that these problems were problems brought into the country from the different parts of the borders, coming to Nigeria. Niger is one of them, the longest land border to Nigeria. And that exactly is what the federal government is saying. Is it so much of a problem to try to support neighbors that are also in collaboration with Nigeria in fighting insecurity, or it is the manner with which the government actually went about it that is the problem?
We have to set the record straight. Every student of history will tell you that it is not a new thing for a particular country helping the neighboring country, especially when it comes to international relations, when it comes to Africanism, okay, when it comes to certain things. We are not saying we cannot do this. The main point is, before you do such, have you been able to solve your own internal problems? If you are saying, yes, you are trying to look for a synergy so that there will be collaboration, you are now doing that to the detriment of your own economic situations at home. What we are saying is this. For instance, the issue of you want to help Niger Republic. How much help has the Nigerian government offer the Nigerian Immigration Service to see that the influx of people from Niger, from Chad, from Cameroon is controlled? They left that. If you are now saying, okay, we are doing this so that the security situation, okay, can be improved, you have to look at what you have internal first. Internally address certain issues. For instance, when I was told by Mr. Labi that I will be talking about this, I did little research about military drones, the one they call unmanned aerial vehicles. I could find that, okay, from they have the one they sell for $1 million to $25 million. How many of the unmanned military vehicles does Nigerian government or has Nigerian government provided for the military to man all the forests and where all these bandits and what have you, where they hide? The thing is this, and we have to be moderate and we have to say what we have to say, well, with moderation. One would infer that there should be a special interest between that country and Nigerian government. And that interest, I don't want to infer anything.
Nigerian government, or because listening to the minister, yes, the minister actually, to an extent and unconsciously downplayed the fact that this is a gift that came from Nigerian government. What she played up was that this is out of the volition of Mr. President. That Mr. President, in his wisdom, has the power and the capacity to approve this particular purchase, or purchases.
Mr. Labidi is the issue. Are we now saying that the minister, the cabinet, they do not know anything about it? Are we now saying under the Federal Executive Council, it was not discussed? Are we saying the Mr. President solely on his own did carry out that gift? Then the next question would be, if such gift can be carried out without informing the Federal Executive Council or tabling it before the National Assembly for oversight function, it means even under the democracy, we are running a totalitarian government.
Okay, should the president, because you talked about the process, a lot of people, a lot of experts have also spoken about it, and they hammered more on the process, the procedure with which this approval was given for the finance minister to repeatedly say that it was the prerogative of Mr. President that he approved such fund. Should the president be punished for this? And what sort of punishment should come with such if truly it does not go through the appropriate?
I will not recommend any punishment for the president. The issue is this: there are procedures. We have the law, we have the constitution. For approvals and things, the Federal Executive Council, they have to discuss it. They have to look at it very well, and from there they give approval. I am not sure, I am not aware of a procedure in which Mr. President alone can look at something that he wants to do and he'll give approval without the Federal Executive Council looking into it. Another issue is this: when you have such thing, 1,145,000,000 naira, are we now saying that the National Assembly, who has oversight function over budget? Because, of course, if you look at the paper very well, that money was released to the Accountant General of the Federation as far back as February 28. Are we now saying the president can sit in his office and just gift money or anything out to people without looking at the due process? What we are saying is this: to me, I sometimes, well, let me mind my language. It appears to me that the people at the Federal Executive Council and the National Assembly, they have become rubber stamps.
Okay.
You know what is bedeviling the country, you know the situation at hand, and you know there will be outcry, there will be criticism here and there, and he went ahead to go and do such.
Okay. Let's get the views of a border and boundaries expert. Maybe this is about solution to some boundary issues. Maybe that's why the federal government, did this. We have Ademola Adeusi joining us via Zoom. Ademola, can you hear us clearly? Good morning. Oh, Demola, hello, Demola. Okay, great. Okay, good, Demola. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, tell us your perspective to this issue as an expert in border matters, border and boundaries matter.
Nigeria does with the Niger Republic in the issue of collaboration, especially with our current insurgency situation and the kind of migration we have with the Niger Republic. But that is not to say that the president can unilaterally, and that's the word, unilaterally wake up and say, we are going to buy such and such things with Nigerian money from a budget that is even in deficit, from loans that we've taken from international bodies and other countries, and then we wake up and say we're going to put that in the hands of the Nigerians and say because they are cooperating with us. First is the fact that as a government policy, was this thought out? Was this thought through? If we have issues with insurgency, and we do have issues with insurgency, we have issues with irregular migration from Niger, we also have issues with the proliferation of light and sophisticated weapons from the Nigerians. There must be a policy framework that says that Nigeria will provide X, Y, and Z to the Nigerian government, and in return for that, they will give us maybe intelligence on banditry. They will give us monthly reports on people coming into Nigeria. There must be something for that, something that says this is what Nigeria is getting for providing something to the Republic of the Niger. But this has been shrouded in so much secrecy that we don't even know what Nigeria is getting. And unfortunately, these are confirmed, but the reports we have is that the money has been invested in buying luxury SUVs rather than operational SUVs that we can use to actually patrol our border. Our border with Niger is the longest border we have because it's 1,440 kilometers. And that border is suffering because if you go there today, the men of the immigrations, the men of the customs, the men of, all border guardians there do not even have places to stay. They don't have cars to patrol that long border. So even if we're going to have a joint border patrol thing, there should be a policy framework. It should be debated by the National Assembly. It should be approved by the Federal Executive Council as posited by the panelists there, and there should be transparency.
Okay, Ademola,
yes.
You mentioned that Nigeria actually needs a lot of collaboration, especially with a country like Niger. I just want to ask you that before now, do we have relevant strategy that we are actually deploying to get more from them, irrespective of what we're giving them? And this car gift, do you see it as a sort of exploitation from the government of Niger with respect to what Nigeria is doing and how we are trying to tackle insecurity in the country, such that they just make order that might not suit into the narrative of fighting insecurity, and then they allow us to just do this kind of gifting at the end of the day? Do you see it as a sort of exploitation on the part of the government of Niger to Nigeria?
Well, I am going to agree with you on that for several reasons. One is the fact that when the issue of Boko Haram and the insurgency started, there was actually a multinational joint task force that included Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. The thrust of that policy, it was a multilateral agreement with France in the lead of this, was for all of us to come together and be able to fight Boko Haram and every other kind of insurgency that we had. And Nigeria contributed a lot to, equipping the multinational joint task force. What then happened was that France was giving intelligence to the Francophone countries and was not sharing that intelligence with Nigeria. So what then happened was that Nigeria was trying to curry the favor of Niger such that we could get second-hand information from the Nigerians as per the movement of Boko Haram and other insurgencies that were trying to attack Nigeria. What you will then see was that the French military were actually then intervening directly on behalf of the Nigerians, whereas with Nigeria, they were not doing that. What that relationship has cost is that Nigeria, in a way, has been trying to let me use the word paddy-paddy with the Nigerians so that they share intelligence with us. That multinational joint task force has broken down now because France is giving every other outpost, military outpost that it has in Africa, especially the Sahel. Now, what has now happened is that with governments of Nigeria that are sympathetic to the demands of the Nigerians, the issue of blackmail and the fact that, look, if we ask Nigeria, we can get it, Nigeria will give us, has become the order of the day. You see, there are a lot of linkages between the two countries. I can say to you that 60% of the cattle that we eat in Nigeria, that we slaughter, actually coming from the Niger, because Nigeria does not produce enough cattle to be able to satisfy its 420 million people. I can also say to you that a lot of commerce happens between Niger and Nigeria, be it informal. So they see themselves as being able to benefit from Nigeria even without having to go through the normal official route. And because the northern elite share not only cultural but linear affinity with the people of the Niger, it is very easy for you to say that, oh, the Nigerians want something and they must get it. If you notice, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria named the road in Abuja after somebody from the Niger. No reason was adduced to this. We were not given any reason. What has he done to Nigeria? How has he helped to protect Nigeria's national interest or our foreign policy for him to deserve a major road being named after him? So, for me, the Nigerians know that when it comes to asking Nigeria anything, once they link it to security, our guys, our people in government don't tie it down to, okay, what are we going to get? What are the deliverables? If I don't get it, what can I do? How do I buy you luxury vehicles and I expect you to be able to tell me what is happening in several parts of the country. By the way, let me note that Niger itself as a nation is bigger than Nigeria, and they have ungovernable territories. What I mean by that are large swaths of land, sometimes as big as Western Nigeria, that the government of Niger cannot exercise dominion over. They cannot exercise sovereignty or authority over it because they do not have the resources. And because of that, it allows insurgents, bandits and all of that to be able to move in and out of Niger. So they're using all of those elements to blackmail our government officials who also share, they share the complicity because they don't even think before they do things for the Niger.
Okay, Demola, so that will allow you, because we know that you are in transit and you need to quickly get to where you're going as early as possible. Now, for you, finally, it's not, I think it's just about the way this has been actually put together, transparency issue that you actually brought into it. It's not that it's totally wrong for Nigeria to assist our brother country, like Niger, especially with the fact that these two countries could actually collaborate in ending insecurity around West Africa. So for you, it's totally not wrong, but what is actually wrong in this is the way and manner the process has actually gone.
Definitely. First, I have a problem, and I do have a major problem with the way the Nigerian foreign policy is being run. We seem to have no method to our madness. And you see, with several administrations, you see that we cannot link national interest to foreign policy. And because we cannot do that, we keep spending money on things that we can use other resources to get. For me, there used to be a multinational joint task force. And that multinational joint task force has broken down. I think Nigeria needs to sit down and reevaluate its engagement with the Niger, with the Benin Republic, with Chad, and with Cameroon. When we have re-engaged ourselves as what do we want? How does it help our national interest, especially in the area of security? We come to the National Assembly and say, this is what we want to do. Maybe every nation is going to bring 10%, and Nigeria is going to bring 50% because we are the ones with the largest nation in West Africa, unquestionably, and we are the ones with an insurgency problem. And we then structure it and we say to the public, this is our new policy that we are using to engage with our neighbors. And the National Assembly approves that and appropriates money for that. And the Federal Executive Council can say, okay, Mr. President, you can now go ahead and disburse this money. I think that is a transparent process for that. When we don't do that, what we're doing is using, some clandestine manner to gift our cousins in Niger luxury cars because that's what everybody will think.
We must thank you so much, Mr. Ademola Adewusi, a border and boundaries expert, for this inconvenience we actually made you go through. Because I can see behind you.
It's a pleasure.
You need to begin to drive now. Thank you so much for calling us. Thank you so much for your wonderful contributions on the program this morning. Okay, that was Ademola Adewusi, a border and boundaries expert, giving us his own perception and perspectives of, to this issue. You listen to him. Wow. I think there's nothing totally wrong with Nigeria helping our neighbors. Maybe as a lawyer, you've actually spoken about the process, and maybe there are other undercurrents, in this issue.
Well, let me just agree with him in totality. The only thing that I will still talk about is this process or procedure issue. It's not about procedure alone. Let's come to economic realities, the issue at hand and priority. Well, we all know, that's why I said earlier that as students of history, under international relations, you have to help your neighbors and your brothers. And it's not like a situation in which, you have all it takes to at least do some, offer some security tips in your environment, and you fail to do that. Or maybe your neighbor is harboring or housing some criminal elements, and you fold your hands, you fail to inform the police, by the time it boomerangs, it will actually bounce on you. For instance, of recent, we had there is a law, I think in Lagos, that any landlord that houses an internet fraudster will be prosecuted. Well, that is good. Let's leave that apart. Yes, the other main thing there that I see as a big oxymoron is that we have our own problems at hand. Why don't you look at what we need now before going for the gift? The issue is that there is a popular...
I think we also need to look at the gift.
Mr. Labi, there is a popular Yoruba adage that says someone that will clothe you. You have to look at the particular one, the particular clothes he's putting on.
Say it in Yoruba now. You say Yoruba.
It is. Augusta is a Yoruba state. Yes.
Yes.
You that you want to give a country over close to 2 billion, and you have your problem. My issue, apart from procedure, is that we have problems at hand that we need such money to solve. Now, what are they doing about our border? Somebody raised the issue. Yes, Mr. Ademola raised the issue. That even if you go to the border of that country, the security personnel that are there, they do not have what it takes to man the border. What are they doing about it? Their own vehicles, go to the nearest police station, maybe at that time or we are here. Go and see the vehicles that are there. Go there. We have our problem. Even in Ogun State here, we have our problem. Where anytime I come to OGTV and I see your service vehicles, I always say within me, I'm sorry I have to say this on the air. The service vehicle of OGTV, you see them, old racket vehicles.
Yeah, we've actually improved on that. Well, government has actually has taken steps. These are vehicles.
Government is trying.
These are vehicles that have been there for years. You see, the point is that there are some issues. There are some equipment in the TV station that are actually taken as archival materials. Okay. If you enter our rooms, you're likely to see some old cameras, and the temptation could be there for you to say, "Oh, are you still using these cameras?" But they're just there for the
archive. Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. Go to police formation, see the vehicles they are using. Go to military formation, see the vehicles they are using. Go to other. So, what has the government done to better the situation internally? That is one. Go to the welfare of the people that are there. You hear every day bandits attacking policemen. They attack an AIG, Assistant Inspector General of Police, kill some policemen. What has the government of Nigeria, what have they done? To me, I am seeing an abstract, an unseen contract between Nigeria and Nigeria, or Niger. An unseen contract in the sense that, yes, this anchor, please, your name? Simiat said something that, can we see it from the angle of exploitation from the government of Niger? A very, very vital point. In the sense that if there is something hidden that Nigerian government has not told us about the relationship, let them come out and tell us that if we don't settle Niger Republic, more bandits will come to this country.
No, I think we need to go historical too. So, was there any? Have we been these generals to the Niger Republic in the past? So many years past, before Buhari came.
To me, to the best of my knowledge, we have not. To the best of my knowledge, I don't know whether I can be corrected. After President Buhari came in, a lot of issues of recent, they discussed constructing rail from Nigeria to Niger Republic.
I think one point that Ademola also raised is the fact that the supply of cows that we eat in Nigeria, that we cannot actually have more of that. And of course, he also talked about the fact that the international relations with Niger Republic, Chad and Cameroon, including Benin Republic, you ask yourself why Nigeria give electricity to Benin Republic, for example, when we do not have, and they start to talk about the Niger, the river, and if they don't do that, then they start to
Let me say something about that. Let me say something about that quickly. The electricity Nigeria is supplying to Benin Republic is for commercial purpose. We are making money out of that. The next question is, how many infrastructure has Nigerian government constructed to Benin Republic? or to Cameroon, or to Chad. Why Niger? That's the question. Nigerians are fantastic people. They are rational people, rational thinking.
Or maybe we should go back to 1884 when the lines were being drawn as to what part would be Nigeria and the other part that would be Niger, Chad, and Benin Republic. And some people will say that some, colonialists, they sat on a table and they were drawing lines, leaving family members. There are some people.
No,
I don't know.
Let me come to that. Good reference to the Berlin Conference of 1885.
Yeah.
At Berlin Conference 1885, they have to look at it very well. The Francophone countries, the Anglophone countries, of course, the British UK, they took Ghana, Nigeria, and the main issue, if you had said that about Cameroon, I will agree with you. In the book of history that we read, nothing that we could trace to Niger. It's only Cameroon that the southern part of Cameroon was in Nigeria before. You still remember the formation of NCNC. Before that part was ceded to Cameroon. And that issue came up when Bakassi Peninsula issue came on board. To the best of my knowledge, for Niger, there is nothing like that. At Berlin Conference,
I'm saying that for Niger, like you said, we share the longest border, land border with Niger, meaning that they cut a part of, Niger, and of course they cut it into two, and some people came into Nigeria, and the other people belong to Niger.
I will not agree with you on that. If you are painting that picture, of course, if you go to Benin Republic, Yoruba people are in Port Novo, Yoruba people are in Ifonyi, Isakete, all of them.
Exactly. And
they are in Benin Republic. And I think that should not be a factor in any way. Let it not be, Nigerians can talk rumor, and Mr. Adewusi used paddy. Let it not be that maybe one of the grandfathers or ancestors can be traced to, and let me do this as my own widow's mite or my portion to my ancestral place. Let it not be. But the issue, what I'm saying is that there is no justification at this moment in time in Nigeria where there is economic hardship, when also the students are told, the lecturers are, the demands have not been met, when the issue of security draws the military.
One of the biggest problems Nigeria has had to face in recent years is insecurity. And so if the federal government is saying they're doing this, to assist Niger curtail, the invasion of the country by bandits and all that. You don't think it's a worthy investment? You don't think it's an investment?
Well, it's a worthy investment. I will agree with you. Very worthy indeed. Then, to now check the barometer to check the worthiness will now be the procedure. Was the due process of law, of procedure followed in doing that? Now let me say this, and I must say it. When President Muhammadu Buhari was coming on board in 2015, a lot of things counted for him, a lot of factors. Integrity and corruption-free, and it shouldn't be under his government that we'll be seeing some of these things.
Oh, okay.
It shouldn't be. I expected seniors. The Accountant General of Federation under President Muhammadu Buhari has a lot of questions to answer. And this Accountant General is still the same person that has been linked to this Niger something.
Okay, the foreign policy now, moving forward, Ademola mentioned it, that Nigeria should reposition itself in terms of what and who should get the aids, the relationship that they have with other countries. For example, he mentioned that there's a space in Niger Republic that are actually ungovernable, ungoverned rather, and of course they need the government of Niger to supply information, and ditto to other parts of other neighbors that we have, supplying intelligence such that Nigeria could. So what is it you think Nigeria should be doing right now instead of this paddy kind of arrangement? Well,
let me agree with Mr. Ademola once again over what he said. I think he mentioned something about looking at the entire foreign policy when it comes to dealing with international relations or states generally. Every student of history will tell you that if you are considering sociological factors of Africanism, we discuss Africanism being our brother's keeper in Africa. You have to look at what the society at large will benefit. Sociological factor. Look at it. What is the interest of Nigeria in doing this? Well, if our primary interest is for security, and from the intelligence report that they have it that all the security threats that we are having, they are coming from the Niger Republic. I think, I have to be modest, it will be justified. Such gifts will be justified. Then, if you are going to raise any issue, we should be raising the issue on procedure. I'm not going to overstretch.
I think we need to look. We also need to look at the gifts. They say they are SUV cars, luxury cars. Are they not just for they're not to be driven to Owambes and all that? Are they for?
That is another point. That's another. You see, everybody should be able to see things the way. Well, it may not be possible for everybody to see the way it is. It is very, very paradoxical that you are giving SUV 10 for 1.4 billion. It means the vehicles are going to the government direct, not for security purpose, not for surveillance, not for patrol. They are not patrol vehicles. Giving SUV 10 for 1.4 billion, and you are saying for security. To me,
let's look
there is an abstract or same contract.
Okay.
Settle these people, settle their government.
Okay, he mentioned something again, which is on the part of the security that he said, when he mentioned that the Francophone Africa, of course they are Francophone countries,
yes.
And instead of sharing intelligence with Nigeria, they share with France, and then they leave Nigeria in the dark and sort of. So do you think the issue of insecurity in that aspect is largely internationally sponsored, or that, if truly they want solution, and why should the information be sent or the intelligence be sent to France and not the countries that are actually battling this insecurity at the different
you still remember that under international law or element of politics, the Francophone countries, they have this policy of assimilation. Okay? Is it association or assimilation?
It's assimilation.
Yeah. Assimilation. They still have this link with France. It's like France is their second country. And anything they want to do, and they just have to contact France. Look at their money, it's still in franc CFA, okay? Which is legal tender anywhere in all the Francophone countries. So that link does not exist in Anglophone countries like Britain and Nigeria. Now come to the African Union. The next question that I will raise is, what is the usefulness of the AU? If AU is there and we are talking about security in Africa, whether Niger or Chad or Nigeria or Benin Republic, and the African leaders cannot come to table and have their intelligence department and exchange information about security, then the Africanism that we are talking about is not there. In fact, the issue, if Nigerian government knows this very well, that they are not sharing security information with them, instead they prefer going to France, and they still go ahead to give this gift. A lot of things will be coming up that it appears we can conclude that we do not know how to set our priority right.
So at this stage, is it time for Africa to come together to solve the security problem?
Of course, it's time for African countries, because we are talking about Nigeria, and whether you like it or not, the population-wise, we are number one. And think about market, we have the large market, everybody is interested in Nigeria. Talk about South African companies like MTN and mention them, they all come to Nigeria because we have the population. So, issue of security should be tabled there. It should be the primus inter pares, number one in the African policy. Now let's come to Nigeria, because you raised an issue over our policy. I think we should do total overhaul of international policies, especially when it comes to Nigeria and other African countries. For instance, some years ago, you remember what happened in South Africa when xenophobia and our people were discovered, and people raised the issue that when South Africa was in problem, Nigeria aided them. We stood as big brother. Their people came here, schooled in University of Lagos. You still have some of their names there. What are they giving us in return? Even this Niger that we are talking about.
They were even treating them better than Nigerians at that time.
At that time. So the issue is that we have to do total overhauling, look at it. Whatsoever will not benefit us economically, socially, politically, I do not think we need to belabor ourselves and spend any money on
this government has done this, and it appears this has come to stay, whether we like it or not. Yes,
he already said there is no going to be punishment for the president. So
I said I'm not going to. But you know, this time that election is coming, I have to mind my mouth. But the government, so that I don't appear to be anti one party.
You're a lawyer. When there are procedures, when you don't follow procedures.
I'm a lawyer. After election, then I will be talking the way, because this time around I have to be very, very careful. I don't want to say anything. He's anti-APC. He's for Labour Party. He's an article person. No. But the issue is this. Let us do things the way they should be done.
Let's do presidents in Nigeria get punished, at all? Have we ever had any Nigerian president, punished? Zuma was punished in South Africa. In some other countries, we see them. Are people in government offices, high offices, do they get punished?
Are we even talking about the Nigerian president or of governors?
But is everything not in the hands?
Let me borrow the word of Mr. Adeokuta, Padi. When this Padi thing is like a carcass, it's like the cabals. I've just left that place, you are coming in. It's like wrestling. You rub my back, I rub your back. You fall for me, I fall for you. Who is going to punish, even after they leave office, who is going to punish the president? But for instance, now we have the issue of impeachment. When I read in the news that the National Assembly is planning to impeach Mr. President, even this morning on the headline, they are not going back, I just laugh. I made a caricature of them, because in reality, nothing like that. In theory, they could say it, they will impeach him, impeach this, impeach that. We have politicized everything. Everything is about politics.
But they always come back to you in the law profession.
Well, they have to come back to us. We have to make our money. In fact,
between money and morals.
With money, you see, there is a dichotomy between money and moral.
So why you also the problem?
No. Why looking for money? We don't allow people to fight and kill themselves. There is election. Someone is saying, well, it's not satisfied. Go to court. Don't give guns and machetes to area boys and miscreants. Let's settle it in court. If the court says otherwise, let it be. In Osho now, Oyetola is challenging Adeleke. Let them go to court. That's what we are here for. Let them brief us. If they can pay us, we go and settle it there. Instead of fighting, instead of quarreling, we have been trained to settle it.
Nigerians have also said you're part of the problem.
We are not part of it. We are doing our job. We are doing our job.
Settle disputes.
We settle disputes, and we initiate disputes sometimes.
You initiate disputes.
Yes, we initiate, we settle.
Make your money.
The people must come to us. That initiation means we fight, not that we start it.
Well, it's really getting interesting with your advice about Mola this
and I must say this. We have, Ganifa Wemi of blessed memory. And during his day, I know issue like this, he will go to court and said, no, Nigerian government, you can't do this. But let any lawyer try to do that now.
What's stopping any lawyer from doing that?
There are a lot of factors. You go to court, the court will tell you it's non-justiciable. With the right you are fighting for is under chapter 2. Then even your people around you, some will tell you, can you fight government and do this? Some people are trying. But the thing is that even some of us that are activists, when they cross to the other side, the language changes. I'm not going to.
So which means it's a divided house, you know, almost everywhere.
Almost.
Even in the media too, you know, it's a divided house. Anyway, we are closing gradually on this topic. FG's car gift to Niger Republic, that's what we've been looking at. And one thing we have actually agreed on, you know, between our studio guest and our Zoom guest, Ademola Adewusi, is the fact that here in Nigeria, you know, should always play the big brother role. We've been doing that. We played our role in the 70s. We also played it in the 80s, up to the moment South Africa, you know, became independent. Apartheid, Nigeria was for them. Well, Nigeria was strongly behind them. Even Liberia, you know, Liberia came. There was a refugee camp in Oru. It's been, you know, it's no more there. You know, and I know that, I mean, when I was in school in Ogun State University, I had a lot of Liberian friends too, you know, who were in that school. But again, maybe pragmatically, at this point in time, you know, maybe, because this amount of money, 1.45 billion naira, will really strike fear, you know, into the bone marrow of
is it from
so
the borrowed
many people,
funds that
you know?
they got the money from?
Exactly.
Or from
So
the
many
ones
people.
that
ASU strike still on. Most of our roads are bad, you know, and a whole lot of other things. But then the challenge for the incoming president, you know, in this kind of situation, this has been done. And I think the question Simiat also asked is very, very important, and that is whether this is exploitation on the part of Nigeria, because they know that Nigeria has the money, so let's exploit them.
Yes.
You know, so whether it is exploitation or not, it's something that the next Nigerian president has to unravel, isn't it?
Very well. I think the next Nigerian president should be a due process man. And the beauty of it all, I've looked at the major candidates. There is none of them that is coming from the military background, where they believe in order and authority. Anybody who is coming on board should be a due process person who should be able to have a synergy between himself as a person and the Federal Executive Council. Not only that, the National Assembly should be ready to play their oversight function. They should be ready. So that let there be approval. Even here, wherever anybody is. OGTV cannot do anything, or you carry out any expenses without following the due process. Okay, in the Department of News or wherever you are, you have to channel it to the general manager, maybe to government. We are expecting something like that. Even if a multi-trillionaire is coming on board or a professor is coming on board, follow the law. So if the House and the Council approve whatever you want to do, well, the citizenry generally will have less problem with that policy. Apart from that, when Nigeria is highly indebted to IMF and what have you, well, the beauty of it, I saw something on social media 2 days ago, the list of countries with highest debt. And when I looked through it, Nigeria was not mentioned. That gave me a sort of comfort. I saw United States, almighty China, and all of them in the list of countries with highest debt.
But again, sometimes you also have to look at what has those debts gone into for those countries.
Very well.
If the monies have actually gone into development. Investments.
Very well.
I mean, I think it's not totally wrong to be indebted. But what are you spending the money on?
Very well.
I think that's quite
very well. I know there are a lot of debt on ground for Nigeria. Thank God, I don't know in practice whether it is in theory. I learned Naira has appreciated a bit above, below what it was before. Let's see the manifestation and the multiplier effect on our economy generally. But I must say, challenges lie ahead for the incoming president to manage the economy, to manage security, to manage, in fact, education, all around.
Infrastructure.
A lot of challenge is on ground. Now, Abuja, that we have issue and we have court cases, and you just go to the airport on counter and you buy your ticket. I learned between 85,000 naira to Abuja now. So going to Abuja to and fro, you can't go by road, by air. You have to, apart from your hotel bills, get 200,000 naira at hand is annoying. You get your salary, fueling your car, buying gas at home, and electricity, fuel for generator, no electricity. At the end of it, you look at it. Yoruba people will say Agbano. Well, in reality, I don't think any Agbano is troubling anybody now. Because you check your income, you check your expenditure, the expenses are on the high side. Everything has skyrocketed. So the incoming president should be somebody who knows the terrain of Nigeria very well, somebody who knows the economy of Nigeria, somebody who is ready to listen, somebody who has the wherewithal, who has the willpower to do something. Everybody, almost everybody is well, I want to use the word fed up.
Should we round up or should we talk about one thing?
What is that? Maybe it's
actually, yes, it's actually the free trade agreement, the relationship in terms of the economy of the different African countries. And of course, we have the issue of insecurity being imported into the country as well. So how do we manage that?
The issue is this: Nigeria has always been a violator of the free trade agreement. I said it on air here with Mr. Labi some times ago. I can't remember whether at your old station there. Nigeria is a big violator. We have this agreement, free trade agreement, first at the ECOWAS level. Nigeria, notwithstanding the agreement, the rule of law is pacta sunt servanda. Agreement freely enter into must be honored. Close their borders. And even up to now, that they said the border Benin Republic to Nigeria has been opened. Up to now, there is no inflow and outflow of goods. They just open the border. Trucks, they allow some trucks to move.
So do we trust, when we talk about intelligence, sharing intelligence, do we trust the government of other countries with what they also allow to get into Nigeria with these new challenges? With this
big brother or Africanism brotherhood, we should be able to trust them. Ideally, we should be able to trust them. But the issue is this. Some of the excuses government gave when they closed all the border. I have to go back to that. Some of them that some people are bringing guns and ammunition from the border and what have you. All the guns, AK-47 that bandits are holding now in the northwest, northeast, where did they come through? These are some of the questions. Okay. The issue is this: economic planners and policies that are working for the government. I am not sure whether the government is listening to them. During Soludo time, the president, governor of Anambra State, we all saw the transformation he brought to the banking sector. Now you can keep your money in the bank and go to sleep. Unlike before that time, that you just go to a bank and you see bank closed. And you are not sure of the next thing. I think when we have brains, experts, look at when Mr. Abeokuta was talking. Anybody listening to him will know this is an expert in what? Border and what did you call it?
Boundary study.
Boundary. Bring experts and listen to them. Let them make their recommendation. Sometimes Nigerian government do what we call try by error policies. Fiscal policy is not yielding anything. Monetary policy, what are we seeing? Just wasting taxpayers' money unnecessarily.
Okay. Anyway, we have to allow Barrister Bamiwola go this morning before he gets angrier.
I am not angry. We have to say the way it is.
We want to thank you so much for coming on this program.
Thank you very much.
We'll be looking at the federal government's car gift to the Niger Republic, and we've had via Zoom Ademola Adeusi, a border and boundaries expert, who has given us his own perspective to the issue. And Barrister Bamiwola too in the studio has also given us his own. And I think the conclusion is that what has been done has been done. You know, the challenge is now left for the next government, the next president, to really look at the issue, you know, relationship between Nigeria and the Niger Republic and other West African countries, you know, so that this does not actually become what Simiat suspected. Exploitation, you know, from this. I think because I think I mean this Nigeria is big enough to actually, you know, enter those bushes and crush whatever is the obstacle. But then what do we see? So we'll take this break. We'll come back shortly for the next segment of the program. Stay with us. you.